Hi everyone, vlogging. It's not something that I've done. I don't really do vlogs, and at one point I did think maybe I should make a vlogging channel, but that never really, sort of made it even into a planning stage. But I just really felt I had to do this. I just really felt like I had to say something, because it's sort of like thrown me for a bit of a loop. The title of this video, it should be the title of the video because I titled the videos, it should be careful what you do at 1 o'clock in the morning, or be careful what you do at 1 AM. So for the last couple of days I've been struggling with my Kingdom Hearts 2.8 HD review. I've just had like writer's block. All my reviews are videos, and I do a lot of video work, but I still write the entire review as a script essentially, and I just can't do it. I just can't get it right. I can't do it there. I'm not happy with it. I just got completely stuck. So I decided earlier on to just put it on hold for a day or two and just refresh and do something else, and then come back to it, and then hopefully it'll be fine. So I decided to switch it up to Dragon Ball Fusions. The new Dragon Ball Z game on 3DS. It has been out in the US for some time, but it's only just out like a day ago in Europe and Australia and everything like that. So that I'll do that review, and I'll do my normal video that I would normally do today, JRPGs you might have missed. But after, I was sort of struggling with the Kingdom Hearts and getting a bit angry at myself. So usually, I just thought I'd do something else for half an hour before I move on to the other stuff, the Dragon Ball Fusions and that sort of thing, just to sort of refresh myself and get myself out of that mode. And what I usually do in that case is pretty much just jump onto my front page of YouTube and have a look at the recommended videos and start clicking on random ones and watching some random videos. And there was one on there, and it just said, I don't know why it was recommended. I don't really watch that many music videos or anything, but it was top 30 one-hit wonders of the 90s. And I thought, what the hell? I was actually doing something on the other screen, so I thought I'll put that on the second screen. Maybe it'll just be a little bit of fun, like blast from the past. Anyway, one of the excuse me, one of the songs came up. And it was Girl Like You, or A Girl Like You by Edwyn Collins. So this song was basically a worldwide smash hit in 1994. It charted in pretty much every country that had a chart. It was huge. And I thought it was pretty catchy. Really, I do sort of remember the song. I know I've heard it before. But I thought it was pretty catchy, and then I'm more of a electronic music guy, so I like trance and that sort of thing. So usually if I hear a catchy song, I'll immediately sort of look up a remix of it. And there's usually a million different trance remixes, because trance DJs and trance artists are actually really incredible at bringing older songs back to life, essentially. And I found some pretty good remixes, but then I also have this weird obsession where I like to know, I like to see where the artists are now, so where the singers are now, if they're still performing live, and what they sound like. Because back in the day it was obviously a little bit harder to auto-tune, essentially, and so it's kind of quite incredible to hear them sound exactly like they do, even though it's 20 years later. So I just looked up basically the song. Oh, by the way, I'll just play the song now for 30 seconds in case you guys don't know it. And it won't be 30 seconds, it'll be 10 seconds. So the song sounds exactly like this.
Well, I've never met a girl like you before.
Yeah, so that's the song. I don't know if you've heard it or not. But anyway, so I looked up the live. So I looked up, A Girl Like You, Edwyn Collins live. I looked up the song, and there was a bunch of them for basically when he was massive, so it was 1995, 1995, 1995, 1996, all that stuff. And there was sort of just nothing, and I was thinking wow, at first thought I thought I didn't really think anything. I just sort of kept scrolling down, and there was one from 2013, and it was just somebody had filmed it on their phone. I clicked on that, opened it up, and I don't know, he was standing there on stage. He was standing up live on stage, but he sort of had like his hand was sort of like tucked here, one hand, and the other hand he had a cane, a walking stick, and he was sort of like leaning on that. And he also had sort of a very odd way of moving, and even his singing sounded, it didn't sound like off, but it sounded like just not quite right. And he didn't look like super old or decrepit or anything like that. It can't have been from that. So then obviously I sort of, I thought, well, what's happened to this guy? So I Googled it. I Googled Edwyn Collins, and so it turns out in 2005, he wasn't feeling well, and he said it's probably just food poisoning. He had a bit of vertigo, a bit of nausea. He just thought, yeah, it's just food poisoning. 2 days later, he was rushed to hospital and suffered 2 brain hemorrhages. 2 massive brain hemorrhages, basically 2 massive strokes, and he had to have surgery, and basically the effects of that, it left him with aphasia. Aphasia is the after brain trauma, people can't comprehend language. That's sort of, it's been their language sector, and that's sort of been affected. So sometimes people just go mute. Sometimes people just repeat one thing over and over again. And in this case, Edwyn, I don't know why I can't say that properly. It messes with my nose, but Edwyn could only repeat four phrases. He could say yes, he could say no, he could say his wife's name, and he could say the possibilities are endless. That's the only 4 things he could say, and he would say them over and over again because his brain still thinks that he's saying, he's speaking normally. Essentially, that's what aphasia does. So yeah, he suffered all this problem. I mean, it's massive. It's that sort of thing is what a cerebral hemorrhage is what killed Bruce Lee. It's incredible. But he started his road to recovery, and despite the fact he has very limited movement in his whole body, but especially sort of one side of his body is incredibly restrictive. As I said, his hand is sort of stuck, and he has trouble speaking because one side of his body is sort of like, yeah, it doesn't work properly. But he returned to live gigs. He does live gigs. He actually returned, I believe, in like 2007, so only 2 years after this all happened, which is crazy. And the more you sort of search on YouTube, the more recent live performances you find. And there's even a couple up there from 2016, just from last year. And I tell you what, it sent me for a loop. Like basically, I'd never heard this guy's name before tonight. Before I just got mixed up in YouTube video jumping. I'd never heard his name. I'd obviously heard the song before, and I knew the song, and it was catchy. But that's just sent me for a loop. It's too much feels. It's too many feels. And I just find it absolutely incredible that he does live gigs. I mean, yeah, he has trouble speaking, like just normally speaking. But when he gets up there and starts singing, he sounds almost like he hasn't changed. There's, obviously he does have a little bit of difficulty with some words, but it honestly sounds like he's just held strong. Nothing's ever happened, and it's inspiring. For one, I was sitting here the start of today thinking, I'm so angry at myself for not being able to get this Kingdom Hearts review out, having writer's block on that. And this guy, Edwyn Collins, what an incredible accomplishment. I mean, it's just incredible. He's done a bunch of other stuff now. He's like a co-founder of a record label and everything like that. But yeah, he still does live gigs, and he still loves doing live gigs. There's a couple of documentaries out on him as well. A documentary film on his recovery titled "The Possibilities Are Endless" was released in 2014, which is a good title because yeah, that was legitimately one of the phrases he could say. straight after the hemorrhages. So when he had aphasia, he could only say yes, no, his wife's name, or the possibilities are endless. And I mean, that's just an inspiration. Honestly, some of the videos of his live performances only have like 1,000 views, and I can't stop watching them. I've watched like every single Edwyn Collins live performance video on YouTube now. And yeah, I basically, I just had to talk about it. I just had to say something because I couldn't take my mind off it. I couldn't get on with my other work. I couldn't get on with Dragon Ball Fusions, and I couldn't get on with JRPGs you might have missed, even though I've sort of half written scripts for those and that sort of thing, but I just couldn't do it because I couldn't take my mind off this guy. I can't believe I can't believe that scenario. It's just incredible. Yeah, you guys should show some of those live performances some love. You should show this guy some love, because not only is he still a tremendous singer, but that song is incredibly catchy. It's fantastic. Alright guys, well, this has been a weird experience for me. I mean, I do talk into the camera all the time, but generally it's not about me, or generally it's not a vlog. Generally it's not talking about things that I'm doing or experiencing and stuff like that. So yeah, tell me what you think. If you would like me to do like a weekly vlog, or just a vlog when something like this comes up where I just think, wow, I need to talk about this, let me know. Obviously, if nobody likes this sort of thing, then I won't ever do one again. If some people like it, I may consider just doing vlogs on a separate channel. But yeah, tell me what you guys think and like and all that stuff, and I'll see you guys soon.